All right, I just wanted to get started on this video early. It's only 8:44 a.m. Pacific time, but I lost internet and then it messed with the chart a little, as you can see with this big bar. So I'm just going to analyze what we have before Xing out of this chart. So far it looks like we're in a downward trend, maybe a range day with a downward bias. So let's take a look at the trades I have marked so far. So we have this pretty big move down out of this range, and then we broke into this congestion and made these overnight lows, and prices formed a range between the overnight lows and this price level in red. So first we get this second entry short and failed second entry long. So those two things in your favor. I really like that trade. As you can see, first entry, second entry short, and then off this high, first entry, failed second entry long off the EMA. And we didn't really know about this red range yet, so I like that. And then towards the open, we get this micro congestion, and there's like a failed second entry long here, but that's going into what I was looking at as a level of resistance. So I didn't like that, but you could argue for that probably. Um, then we get a counter trend break because we did break up into this congestion. Get a counter trend break, bounces off the overnight lows. You get a higher low right here. The signal bar is not great, but if you're being aggressive, you might take that, and you do get a big move after that. And then you get a failed second entry long, as well as a lower high back into congestion with a great signal bar. I actually forgot to look at this. I would say this is aggressive. It is a second entry long, first entry, second entry off the EMA, and it's also a double test, but it's in the middle of this congestive area, so I'm not. That's very aggressive. This turns out to be a little bit of a channel down, and we get a double test here that traps some shorts in the middle of the range, comes back up to the highs of the range, then you get a lower high right here, big move down. Then prices go beneath the overnight lows. So I mean, if you're playing it like a range, this you could definitely play like a trap and you get a nice runner off that. It's just a higher low. Um, oh, it's also a failed second entry short. Um, it's definitely aggressive, but it just seems like a good trap for trapping some shorts, and that's exactly what happens. And get a nice move up, easy runner. You get this movement up. It breaks out of the red range, and then the midline between the overnight highs and lows turns out to be right here, and it looks like it's actually a perfect measured leg, almost a couple ticks higher. Um, so that's market geometry right there. You get this. It hits the midline. We also get a break of this channel, two legs up. So then we're kind of expecting a reversal. This is a lower high, but it's going right into the EMA. That's why I marked it as aggressive. And then you get a failed second entry long right here. So you might consider that too. I guess I'll put a um, arrow right there. This actually is very aggressive. This one's a little less aggressive, in my opinion. We get this leg down though, and we are expecting. Well, I guess these were the two legs up to a new high. So we get two legs of correction, two legs up, and prices start moving down. And this trend was really messing with me. I couldn't draw. I didn't know where to draw it off these highs at first, and I think I got it right now. So let's take a look. Um, this is a here. Let's see. I didn't mark either of these. So if you have this channel, let me make this yellow just to help us differentiate. If you have this yellow channel drawn, which isn't, there's nothing wrong with that, it's off these highs, then you get this confirmation, great signal bar off the highs. Um, you could also look at it as like a breakout pullback off this level of congestion. Here, I'll just draw it all the way across. Okay, you see that? That's like a breakout pullback. Let me make that green. No, that doesn't work. Is there a lime? Okay, this lime channel or range, it's like a breakout pullback, but it's a confirmation of this yellow channel. It's the third touch, and it's really just a first entry short. Or yeah, it's a first entry short. Hmm. Wait, what just happened? Okay. Is it a first entry short? Let's see. First entry. No, that's a second entry short. Okay, so it's not as aggressive as I thought. I'm gonna change that. Second entry short off of this yellow channel. And then we have this channel working, this blue channel, and you get this, which is a failed second entry long right here. Um, so a lot happening here, a lot of good entries, and yeah, this just keeps making lower lows, lower highs. You get this touch, but no good setup. First entry failed, or second entry short, and now that I'm looking at it, that's also a failed second entry long. So definitely, not only is this, see, when I was watching, I was playing it like a range. However, this is the first break of this channel. This channel was hard to draw though, because you didn't know if you should be drawing it off of this area, but then it pulls back to the EMA. You don't know if it was tough to see. But if you know that this is a second entry short and failed second entry long at the EMA, and it's like a breakout pullback off the overnight lows, take that. But for me, I was watching this live and it was just hard to catch. I mark this as aggressive because uh, very low risk and you might catch an important low. It's far from the EMA as well. So you would have scalped out, but oh, this is also a trap. Just mark that trap because people are going long above this because it's a lower high. So people are going long above this, thinking it's going back into the range, and boom. So for all those reasons, we get this big move down that stays in the range, but it's about one leg, two legs down before it starts reversing. Um, yeah, and I'll have to come back later once I reset my chart because this thing messed it up. So I'll be back. All right, guys. So it turned out to be a range day. I think I stopped right around here at about 8 a.m. A little after 8 a.m. So this correction started happening around 8 a.m. I redrew this trend channel. I think it's a little more accurate now. As you can see, we didn't reach the bottom of the channel, and that started the correction. So really, we just had this big move down and some correction right now. Now we're above the overnight highs, um, still trending up, and we'll see. Maybe after market close, there'll be a sell-off. But for now, we're getting this correction. A lot of good moves. A lot of the price action was just very clear these past few days. And there were like several days in a row where I did not feel that way. So let me just make sure. Yeah, I think, okay, so I must have come in around here. So um, I drew this big channel, and that lasted for a long time, but I didn't see any entries in here. You get an engulfing bar right there. Let's see. Let me scroll in. You get an engulfing bar right here after we get this pretty solid move up. We get a break and then an engulfing bar. But I don't think you can really enter there, especially you can't go long there because we're in this channel. We're expecting I'm expecting prices to continue going lower. Yes, that is a sign right here when prices bounce and then bounce again. Um, that's a sign that we might be going higher, especially when this steeper channel breaks. You get um, one leg up, two legs up, then one. This looks like maybe one leg of correction, two legs of correction. So this is a start of the reversal pattern, but I'm not sure you want to enter that. You know what? Now that I'm looking, I think I'm going to mark this as um, an aggressive entry because we didn't make it to the bottom of the greater channel. Okay. We get this channel break. We get one leg up, two legs up, and then one leg down, two legs down to an attempt at a new low, and you get a nice engulfing bar on that's actually a third entry. So that's aggressive because of that. But you could look at this as a double top. The count resets first entry, second entry. Something to think about. You get some congestion here near the overnight lows and going towards the top of the channel, trend channel. I don't see any entries here. You get a bounce. And originally I probably would have had a trend line drawn like that. So it wasn't until later that you had this trend channel drawn. Prices break through the greater channel that's been since yesterday, holding prices. You get a break and you get some congestion up here. No good entries anyway. You wouldn't have had this level of resistance drawn, so you can't enter there. And here, I mean, this looks like there's trapped shorts, but it's not the low of the swing. So this bar and this bar both have trapped shorts, but you can't enter there. Here we get a leg down, and this is where you start to think, okay, this might be the trend channel. So you get a touch, it breaks, comes, makes a new low, and then it closes inside, and then we get this bar. Rockets back up to the EMA. Prices bounce off the EMA and the overnight lows, and they come back to this level, but you do not get a good signal bar. So, I mean, I'm not sure if that's like a first entry. That's like a third entry long anyway. But right here, you get an excellent signal bar, and it's a failed second entry short off the trend line. You have the trend line supporting you. You have the overnight lows supporting you, and you have the EMA supporting you. Yes, that's going into these highs of this swing, but we're also expecting it also could be a breakout pullback off this level, but we're also expecting prices to go back into this congestion area, okay? Because prices haven't made an attempt to enter that again. So that's a great entry right there. First entry, second entry, failed second entry short. Then you get a second entry short here. It's far from the failed second entry short here, but it's far from the EMA. However, we should probably draw that trend channel. And let's see, that could be an overshoot, but that could also just be the top of the channel. So you get a break, one leg up, looks like maybe a second weak leg up, we get this channel down here. Let me make this bigger now. And we get this trend channel. It's pretty clear by this point that we have this channel working down. That's why I was comfortable marking this, and um, it's a failed second entry long. These are the highs, first entry, second entry, great signal bar, and then get moved down, and prices bounce maybe off of like this price level up here or something. Um, but yeah, prices bounce and start trending up off this. Start just respecting the EMA, really. You get some you get some congestion here at the midline. This is the midline between the overnight highs and the overnight lows. So right here, it looks like a second entry. It's actually technically a third entry, first entry, second entry, third entry, but this kind of looks like a double top, which would reset the count. First entry, second entry. It's off the EMA. The signal bar is a little neutral, but this is congestion right here, and it's back into congestion. So I like that entry. I'm sure some people entered there. They had a better signal bar than me too. It's not a higher low. So originally my level of resistance was drawn right here, but once it broke out and bounced off this EMA, I drew the a higher level of resistance. I just measured it. So when it broke out, I was expecting and it did bounce right there if you look right here, but not sure if I don't think I would take that, especially since we're clearly in an uptrend at this point. And then when that went higher, I measured that and um, got the top of the resistance here. So this is just some micro congestion, so I don't like entering in here. But then it drops down and breaks out beneath this congestive area and bounces off the midline. And when you get this is a trap right here, guys. Matching lows, this one, people are going short here. This one breaks higher and then it breaks low again. You get a nice signal bar, plenty of room to go back, scalp to the EMA. So let me mark that trap. I guess the only reason I'm saying this is aggressive is because it didn't come down to this trend line, the bottom of the channel. But anyway, we make a channel, we start going up. First entry, second entry, so that's a third entry short. Um, First entry, this is actually a second entry, so it's second entry long. Um, you might think of this as aggressive though, just because we're in the middle of a range, but it is a second entry long and it's off the trend line and the EMA. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Maybe Mac will discuss that later. We get a break, one leg up to a new high. You don't get a second leg up. Um, let's see. But yeah, we make this high, break back into congestion. You get some micro congestion here. Bounces off the trend channel again. Clearly, so if you look here, look, this is slightly away from the trend channel. So I would think a lot of people got trapped on this bar when actually it looks like they're trapping people left and right. So people went long here, got trapped, stopped out. People went long here, got trapped, stopped out. And so it bounces again, and all those trapped longs have to exit. It breaks the trend channel, and we get one leg up. And oh, it looks like we only get one leg up. Looks like maybe one leg up, two legs up to a new high, one leg of correction, two legs. So once we get this sharp move up, Unfortunately, you can't enter here according to max rules. Um, but when we get this sharp move up, that just looks like a trap. Um, People going short here, it's going right into the channel. So you're gonna have some support here. So I like that. I went long on the simulator above this bar because you had some momentum. It was like the bar was like right here, probably like less than 100 ticks before the close. So I knew that if it made it to that level, it would have momentum behind it. So it scalped out pretty quickly if you entered above this one. If you entered above this one, it took a while to get there. And then the only reason I marked this trade is because I think that was an engulfing bar. Oh no, it's not an engulfing bar. Oh, just because it's back into this congested area here. And we've already had a break and two legs up. I probably wouldn't even have looked at that as two legs up though, but it is, especially if you draw this trend line. And then you get a lower high here. It's an engulfing bar, so there's oh, whoops. So this one's less aggressive than this one. Clearly, people are going long above that. You get that, and you would have had a nice move if you stuck with this. I think I just scalped out. But then you get a failed second entry long, and it's also a second entry short. First entry, second entry short on an engulfing bar. So I really like that. And it pays off. Big move down. Probably like 5, 6 points you would have gotten easily. Then we get this congestive area right below the midline. Um, and if you draw this trend channel, you could take this failed second entry short breakout pullback, but it's definitely aggressive going into the midline, and we're expecting prices to come back into this area of congestion. And that's why when it goes higher and breaks and you get this lower high here, which you could argue for this one to be an entry too. When you get this, that's why you get an overshoot or a so it breaks out and all these people get trapped long up here, and that's why it goes further down here. Another entry, you might look at this bar. It closes outside of this trend channel, so and it's low risk, so that's why you might look at this as an entry as well. But you don't get any lower or higher lows, and then prices for the rest of the day, we get this sharp leg up, and you get a higher low here. Definitely aggressive, far from the EMA, but it's actually where's the trap we just saw? Oh, look, it's right at this almost. It's like 2, 3 ticks away from this trap. Looks very similar. It's like a repeat pattern. So you get that, and prices really just went up for the rest of the day. There might be a. So I think that's a first entry, second entry, maybe first entry, second entry, but and this is a trend channel here, but this is into 12 o'clock, so we're done. A lot of good price action today and yesterday. Easy to read, I would say, as long as you're following the rules. And yeah, that's what we're looking at for today. So I hope you had a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow.